Hello, let's talk about linear equations. So we have an example before us here. This is an example of a linear equation. There are some points I'd like you to note about a linear equation before we begin to solve this. So a linear equation is an algebraic equation which has the greatest power of the unknown as 1. The power of the unknown, that means x. X is the unknown in this equation now. The power of x is not greater than 1. So any equation you see that has the greatest number of the unknown as 1 is a linear equation. Another thing you have to note is that this is what qualifies this to be called an equation. The equality sign equal to. The equality sign is what qualifies this thing, the example we have here, to be called an equation. If it was written in this form, x plus 4y minus 4, this will not be an equation, this will be an expression. So whenever you get an equal to sign in this form, this has automatically become an equation. So we are dealing on linear equation. So an equation that has the greatest number of the unknown as 1. So how do we solve a linear equation? First, when we have such an equation and we have this example before us, the first thing we have to do is to remove the bracket. Take note of that. Before solving any equation with bracket means you have to remove the bracket first before solving. And removing the bracket, let me show you something else. If this was 5 plus x minus 7, that means you are adding this. You are adding this to this. All you have to do is 5 plus x minus 7. Right? So now, it is not in that form. It is in this form. What you have to do is multiply. This means multiplication. So let's multiply this. 5x minus 35 minus 7x equal to negative 3 times 4x. This becomes negative 12x. Negative 3 times negative 5, it becomes positive 15. So this is what we now have. What is the next step we have to take after this? When we have something like this, how do we make x the subject of this formula? What you have to do is collect like terms. Collect like terms. So to collect like terms, we have 5x and 7x minus 7x as like terms at the left hand side of this equation. So this side, take note of this. This side of the equality sign is the left hand side. And then this other side is the right hand side. Okay, so we have 5x and negative 7x as a like term, having the unknown x with them at this side of the equation. And we have negative 12x as a like term on the right hand side of the equation. Let's move it over to this side. So while moving a number over an equality sign, the sign on the number has to change. If it is a negative sign, it has to change to a positive sign. If it is a positive sign, it has to change back to a negative sign while it is transferring. So as we are transferring negative 12x over to this side, what we have is positive 12. So let's write it in this form. Plus 12x equal to, so what are the terms we have here? We have 15, and then we have 35 minus 35 here. We are moving it over to the right hand side. we have plus 35. So what will this become? So this will now be 5x minus 7x, this is minus 2x, minus 2x plus, plus 12x, this is 10x, equal to 15 plus 35, this is 50. The next thing we have to do is divide by the coefficients of x. So the coefficient of x here is 10. So let's divide both sides by the coefficients of x. What we have to do is 10x divided by 10 will give you x equal to 50 divided by 10. Divided by 10, divided by 10, this will be 5. So our x here will be equal to 5. So this is how you solve a linear equation. Let's take another example on this. So we have another example here. So how do we solve this? The question is, if 6x plus 7 equal to 4x minus 3, what is the value of 8x minus 4? So how do you solve this kind of linear equation? First, this is the question. What is the value of 8x minus 4? Take note of this. So what you have to do is solve this and get the value of x first. And then impute your value of x here and multiply to get your correct answer. So how do we solve this? First, this is already simplified. All we have to do is to collect our like terms. Collect like terms. Let me write out the equation here. 6x plus 7 equal to 4x minus 3. So collect like terms. So how do we collect like terms for this? What are the like terms we have on the right hand side? Right hand, okay, left hand side, right hand side. So what are the values, the like values we have here? We have 6x as our first value. This, there is no unknown here, so this is not a like term. So there's a like term here, 4x. While moving it over this equality sign, the sign changes. There is no sign here because it's a positive sign. So while it's moving over here, it changes to a negative sign. So negative 4x equal to, there is negative 3, and there's a like term here. Moving it over here, it becomes negative 7. So this will be 6x minus 4x equal to 2x equal to negative 3, negative 10. This will be negative 10. So divide by the coefficient of x to get your answer. Divide So what we'll do here is divide both sides by 2. 2 is the coefficient of x. The number attached to x is the coefficient of x. So 2 is that coefficient of x. We divide here. So x becomes the subject of this formula. And then negative 10 divided by 2 will give you negative 5. And negative 5 is our final answer for this. This is how you solve for this kind of linear equation. So now to answer this question we have here, what is the value of 8x minus 4? So what you do is bring 8 brackets minus 5 is x, then minus 4. So like I told you earlier on in example 1, there is no sign here. So this means multiply. So 8 multiplied by minus 5, or minus 5 multiplied by 8, this will give you minus 40 minus 4. So the answer will be negative 44. So write it out here. Negative 44 is the value of x. So that's it. This is our answer for this question. So let's take another example on this. So we have another example here, and this one involves fractions. And when you get a linear equation that involves fraction in this form, so what you have to do, the first thing you have to do is to clear the fraction and make it a whole. So what you have to do here is get the LCM of these fractions. The LCM of these three numbers from right hand side to left hand side is 15. So I've made a video on how to look for LCM. You can go ahead and check that to understand what we did here. So what we have here is 3 times 3x is 9x plus 1 times 2x is 2x equal to, this is 3 times 3 will be 9. So 9. Okay, so this is what we are going to have after clearing the fraction here. So this is what we are going to have. If you look at this, you will see that there is no need to collect like terms. The like terms are already arranged. This the unknown value of x are on one side, and then 9, the constant, is on the other side. So what you have to do, add them up and get the coefficient of x. So this will be 11x equal to 9. So 11 is the coefficient of x. Divide both sides of the equality by the coefficient of x. Divide both sides by coefficients of x. So what will you do here? This will be 11x over 11 equal to 9 over 11. So x will be 9 over 11. And this will be our answer for this question. Thank you for staying with us. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video. I will also appreciate it if you have any questions on linear equation to leave a comment in the comment section.